Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to part 2 of my tutorial guide to jungle adventures, where I am sharing some tips and tricks that I picked up while playing the game. And in this part we're going to do a jungle overview, which will show what is behind the various gates, as well as give you some ideas of the skills that you need to have and how they can help you when you are exploring. So to start with, my family that I'm using is the one from my Nomad Challenge, and all the links and stuff are down below. You need to go over to the Belomesia trailhead. Now, if you are actually staying over in this neighborhood, in the jungle bungalow, or the where the Heckings are staying, which is like a place that has 8 beds, and if you're staying in any of those, you can just walk over to the entrance, because the entrance is just here, which is off of the trailhead. So since we are not staying over there, we are staying over in this neighborhood, we are going to go travel to the trailhead and head over that way. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that you can bring pets with you to Selvadorada, and not only that, there are some strays in the world. So I will see you when we get over to the trailhead. So we are here, and the first thing I'm going to point out is that if you actually have Outdoor Retreat and your Sims, or one of your Sims, has the herbalism skill and can make insect repellent, which you need, I believe it's strawberries and an ingredient from Outdoor Retreat, so you need to actually travel there to be able to get the stuff to make it. You can have your Sims make the insect repellent, and that is actually really helpful in helping them not get injured when they're attacked by bugs, as does happen when you are in Selvadorada. So it so happens that my Sims have that, so I'm going to have them all apply some insect repellent. I did put one in little poor Damien is homesick, which is funny because I've never actually had my Sims be homesick in Selvadorada before. So this is a first for me, and I've been traveling back and forth with different Sims and different saves, and many times I thought they didn't get homesick in Selvadorada because I'd never had it happen before. So I'm having them all do that. You can easily edit this lot without any cheats, so I threw down a chess table there for him to have something to do. And I'm having her survey for dig piles because she reached level 4 of the archaeology skill, and that lets you do that when you get to level 4. And I want to have her also do some insect repellent liniment, and the deodorizing cream obviously would come in handy too, but you can buy that waterfall in a bottle and you don't need to use it. And so then after she's done that, I'm going to have her excavate from the site that she happened to find, because she currently is, I switched her over to her archaeology scholar because she uncovered an artifact from a dirt clump using the one that we bought from the secret wares menu. So that's one of the reasons I kind of like doing it, because it lets you get that out of the way very easily. And now she's doing some digging. Now Leon, on the other hand, he needs to find an area off the path, and there was already one here, so I'll probably have her head over there and do that too. So we're going to go over here, and there is like use the bathroom, use the shower. There's here you can like read poison awareness posting and preparation checklist. And I'm going to switch over to Leon. One thing, my first sort of tip to go over here is the skills that I find come in handy for going through the gates and also or in the temple are archaeology, charisma, fishing, which he has maxed, fitness, which he has not maxed, gardening, handiness, logic, very important, and then the local Selvadoradian culture, and also rocket science, believe it or not. He has got that because I have Parenthood and bought the little teen work at home school project that helps them build their rocket science skill. So you don't actually need to have a rocket to build that skill, and you can also obviously buy books and read and learn it that way. Or if you have City Living, go into the city for GeekCon and go in the rocket ship into space, or just build the rocket there. So those are the ways you can work on that skill. This is a little bit one that most Sims maybe don't get as much, so I thought I would go over that. So now here you can clear the path with your hands. With higher gardening skill, you're less likely to hurt yourself, or you can get a machete, which we bought them from the marketplace because we had the secret wares. You can get them on the table when they're available, but I didn't see any while I was there, which is one other benefit of maxing that skill, is that it does unlock some things that aren't always available on the table. Those things rotate in and out. He's level 8, so I'm going to have him clear the path with hands. If he's not high enough, he would get uncomfortable. Now, the tip that I had is that what I usually like to do is keep this skills panel up when they are going through here, because I don't necessarily remember what my Sims skills are in the different areas, and then I will know when I get the pop-up that they get whether or not they, what action they should take when they are going through. But the objects that we bought here, which they will notify you if you have them in your inventory, they can also help with the pop-ups that come up. So I'm going to have him come over here and clear, and we'll see what is on the other side. So just as an example, I'm not planning on doing this with all of them, because we are only going to get like this one and perhaps one more. We got a mysterious pedestal. In this case, it says higher handiness skill leads to better results, and in his case he's actually maxed his handiness skill, so he can use that. But he also has a fire foam in his inventory, so we could have got it that way. I usually find that the leave it makes them, uncomfortable, unhappy, something or other. It's usually a negative outcome, but it's probably the safer negative outcome than doing the other ones if you don't have the items. That's been my experience, but generally my Sims tend to be more skilled, so I tend to be able to do this option. So I'm going to check that one, and by doing all of that, he takes a cool relic with him. So you can get relics, you can get supplies, and you can even get a treasure from these pop-ups and crystals, depending on what they are. If you want to see more, play yourself, there's lots of Let's Plays. I have a Let's Play, and I go through the jungle quite a lot with my Sims in the Let's Play. So I'm going to be back on this side here. So now we see this, and one interesting thing to note with Jungle Adventures, and this is just sort of happens just so that they've come through. So here's the little, he has the bug free from insect repellent, and it keeps those pests away. It's 10 hours now, but it is for 12 hours in total, is that you can actually swap back and forth between the places. So I find that kind of handy, and I think she's done her digging that she can, so she may as well come over here and join the game. Now I'm going to go back to Leon, who's on this side. Now he's over here, and there we have, right when you get through, you have a wild avocado tree. So I'm going to harvest that because they like to garden, as you can tell by their gardening skill. And this is not considered off the path. This is the path. The off the path ones are the ones that you will occasionally see are locked. There are 4 that I can think of, and usually every time you come, 2 of the 4 will be locked, and all the other ones are considered to be the path and not off the path. So this one here, right to the left, is locked, and this would get you to the area with the plane crash, which has a treasure chest and some dig sites, and that's what's here. Otherwise, and that is considered off the path. So if we keep going through here, you go over this bridge, which you can see from the main map. You see this, and then there's a dig pile here, which will what I'm going to have actually Tina come and excavate that because she needs to. She's not high enough. Once you get high enough, you can establish an excavation site, and you can get a lot more out of it. I think that might be 5, but we'll see. She's cloud gazing and doing that. We're going to stop that, and they will get flirty because we have these lovely falls here, and that makes everybody flirty. Keep in mind that if you have Sims who you do not want to have flirting with each other, don't have them digging together because they will just autonomously do it, unless you have a mod that stops that from happening, even if they have no romantic, I don't know why they want to cloud gaze, any romance between the Sims. So unless they're related, then of course they won't. So we're gonna have them clear path with hands, because again, this is also still considered to be the path and not off the path. The only one in this area that's off the path is the one that currently is locked, which, like I said, leads you to the plane site. So I'm gonna have them go through this one, and I'll be back. I thought I'd just show you this one because this one is where the Selvadoradian culture skill leads to better results. And so this is one that, even if your Sim isn't very skilled, was easy to get that one maxed, and it helps you with some of these pop-ups as well as helping you in the temple. So in this case, there's a treasure, it looks like, and but it's not that hard because you can also just use a machete, but it'll take it. It'll use the machete. So I'm going to take it because he's maxed his culture skill, and we'll see what he gets on the other side. So we got a treasure for the taking. I'm not gonna like go through all of what it says, and it looks like he's just about to be attacked, but because he was prepared, he did not, so he got from escaping a bee attack using insect repellent, so it helps you with that. Now if you have high logic, and his logic is probably high enough that he didn't need to use it because it's level 8, and I find that's pretty good. 9 I think is pretty guaranteed. I think I've had a sim actually get attacked and hurt when they had 8, but I don't think that's normal. I think normally that's high enough. So he is through, and let's just take a quick look to see what type. So we got a Sunburst Jonkless Gold Perica, which is worth 8,058, and that's one of the lowest values that you can get out of them. They're sometimes 9 and 10,000, and it looks like we got a Totokalama relic from the first go round because I had bought one of those, and now we have 2 in our inventory. So that is also, you can see it's still consider the path. It's not off the path. So now when you come through here, we see here we have a few gates in a few areas. Now this one right to the left right here, that's going to take you to the baths, the Omniscan baths or whatever they're called, and that will always be unlocked because that is taking you to the baths. Now this one here takes you to a fishing spot that is a good spot to fish, but my favorite fishing spot I expect is unlocked because that's already count 2 that are locked. And we go over here with this totem, and if we have it moving, you'll see the little fireflies. This is where you go to get to the temples, and then if you go over here, this is my favorite spot. It is the island, and if you go fishing here, along with, you know, catching the fish and catching the things that can help you while you're exploring randomly, it will also, you can catch randomly treasures like the frog that we just got going through, and also the plates. Those are the 2 types of treasures that come with Jungle Adventures. So there is one more spot off the path. So if we go, oh, it looks like someone's got she's gotten attacked. And she didn't go do what I asked her to do because she's still sitting over here. But not that it matters. So I'm going to take Damien over here through the path that goes to the pools, the natural, whatever they're called, the Omniscan pools or Omniscan baths where you can go swimming. And once he is over there, I will show you where the other path is, which will be open because we've already have our 2 that are locked for this particular trip. So that's why. And then we'll get a loading screen before you go to the but first, oh, we got another one where we can check out the totems, and that's the one we already had before. So we got another relic, and this is considered off the path. So going to the pools helped satisfy the need to go off the path. So he has done that now. So I am going to take them there so we can take a quick look and see the other spot that should be opened. So they're here at the Omniscan Royal Baths. They came up, it told me what they were called. So I'm going to have the 2 of them go for a swim, while this time I am going to have, how much longer are they protected for? Same bug free, so I don't know. He may need some more, or I might just send him back to their premises so I don't have to worry about him as much. So I'm going to now have Tina come take a look over here, and right now, because I had her on the archaeology scholar aspiration, I'm going to switch her back over to the Jungle Explorer aspiration because she needs to find an area off the path, and then we'll find that here. So let's see. This is the spot. So when we come in here, this will sometimes be locked because, like I said, every trip there's 2 that are locked, and that's how it always is. So this is the only one that's here. So we're going to have her go through, and her gardening, let's take a quick look at her skills. It's 7. it's a little bit borderline and iffy, so I'm going to just have her clear it with the machete, which you can lose it when you're going through. So her skills aren't as good for going through here. Like if it comes up with a fishing one, that will be useful, but if it comes up with anything, or the Selvadoradian culture one, she'll be fine, but anything else, fingers crossed she has the things she needs to go through. So the other thing that's here while she is doing that, and I was setting him fishing, but setting Leon fishing, but I might stop him from doing that, is I think the Tree of Emotions. Yes, there's a spot for a Tree of Emotions. Right here is one of the locations. There was also one when we went through in the other one, and I forgot to look at the fact that there was one in the other area that we were just at that had a Tree of Emotions there too. So there, he's busy, he's swimming, but he's going to get out. So you do see locals here sometimes. I have seen Sims here that it's not always, you know, just your Sims who are in this location, but I do not see Sims at the temple. The only other socialization you might get at the temple is when you get the odd skeleton that comes through. So I'll be back when she gets through to the other side. So Tina unfortunately had a pop-up she couldn't handle. She didn't have things with her and she didn't have the skills. So she has a negative here. She got a jaguar square from encountering a jaguar in the jungle. So she almost got spotted, and so she's just tense. So obviously if you had a Sim that had the carefree trait, then they would never get tense. So that type of would never happen, that type of thing. So you can take a harvest from, here's some, they have a few trees. I think they have, yeah, there's 2 trees of emotion that I can see right here for sure. So these are the gardens. This is a garden lot. So this is where you can get all the plants that come in Jungle Adventures, the black bean bush, and there's another avocado that we can harvest from, and also the plantain, which is a base game item, but obviously seems to fit with the theme of Selvadorada, so they have it here. And there is also a treasure chest somewhere here. There is always a treasure. There it is. So now this one you gotta take with a little. Normally I find that my Sims get a positive outcome from the treasure chest in the areas off the path, but I have had my Sims cursed on occasion from doing that. So we're going to have her do all that harvesting and opening that chest, and then we're going to go check out and head back to where the temple is so we can find it. Or maybe what we'll do in this second part of the tutorial is check out the other open spot that's not locked on this trip, and then I'll have a third part to this tutorial where we actually go take a look at the temple that is available right now for them. I thought I'd capture her opening that, and she got a blessing and she got simoleons and some adventure gear. Oh, and she turned into a did she turn into, yeah, she turned into a skeleton. And how long is that going to be good for? 12 hours. So that means that she will not need to and this is random what's going to happen. She is not going to need to look after her needs while she has that. So that's kind of good for her, but she is going to make the others a bit tense being around her. That is the negative aspect of being a skeleton. So I'm going to take her back out. I'm just trying to get my bearings. It's over here. You can also, yeah, so I'm going to have her travel through there back to where she was, to the royal baths, and she's playing. I don't know that I've had that happen, that they ran. I've had them turn into skeletons, but not randomly for that. So now we're going to also travel through with here to get back to the central area so we can get to the other area off the path. Now that does not require a loading screen to go back. It will require a loading screen to go to the temple, but you know, it would have required that anyway. So you can be at the baths. I could have left Damien over there and had Tina come on her own, but I'm gonna have Damien, now that he has found an area off the path, I'm gonna have him go back onto the archaeology scholar because he has to excavate a little bit. But maybe, and I think he's fine, he doesn't need the insect repellent, but I'm going to send Damien back because he's run out of insect repellent, and kids can get attacked as has happened. So again, this is where you go to the temple, but we're not going to the temple right now. We are going to take our girl right now here, and once she is through, I will be back just to show you that one because these are the only two that they have available on this particular trip. So I thought I would show you the two that they have the ability to go through. So she's through, and she got a treasure too, because she got the one where you needed the Selvadoradian culture. So she got one that's also worth 8,000. So maybe it's the plates that are worth the 10,000. Maybe they're worth 8 and 9, and I'm just getting confused. And this is the island. If you look, you see all the water all around, and there's the crocodile, and this is where, if you go fishing, this is, like I said earlier, my favorite spot, because when you fish here, you can catch, oh, there's 2 of them. I've never even noticed those 2. And there's a treasure chest here too, so we'll leave that maybe for, I'll leave that for Leon to do, and hopefully he doesn't get cursed, but that is really the summary of sort of exploring the area, and in the next part of the tutorial we'll go into the temple and check that out a teeny little bit, as well as I'll just touch on some final things, how to make money from Jungle Adventures. I find it a very good pack for that. But that is going to be it for this part of the tutorial. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye! This has been Jennifer. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. I'd love to see them. If you liked the video, please leave a like. And if you'd like to see more videos of challenge, let's plays, tutorials, and occasional speed builds, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thanks very much!